Okay, so I think it's gonna work. Fingers crossed. Um, Fingers crossed. I'm just listening to my live here. Just listening to my live here. Just listening to my live here. Okay, let me go ahead and mute that. My sound. I like my sound. All right, so I don't have a delay on, so that's not good for me. No delay, so that means you're probably going to be able to, snipe me on the stream, which I'm okay with. Yeah, and let me go ahead and pull up the table. I tested this out. Everything was working fine. Let's go ahead and just see what we have right now. Fingers crossed. I'm liking it right now. All right, so what was happening to me last time was I wasn't it would see right now it's on geese neck, and on my stream it wasn't counting down, so it looked to me like it looks fine. It looks like you're getting the hands, and I think we're gonna get it. Cool. All right, tournament lobby. Let's just talk about the tournament right now before we get going. Let's pull this up to the top, and here we are. So we have 21 players. We are playing for trophies and a first prize of I thought it was a $10 gift card, but apparently we're up to maybe a $15 Target card. Who knows? I'm making it up as I go along. So tonight we have 21 players. We're paying out top three. So first place gets trophy and a gift card. Second place trophy. Third place trophy. Cool. You can see everybody that we have listed here. Zach, Wyatt. So once registration closes, then in 9 minutes registration will close, and you'll start to see chip values and everything here. So that's how we do that. Cool. All right, so let's move it back down. Boop, boop. I'm like, oh my god. So we have a set of 10s. First hand, boom. Evan comes out with 10s. Set of 10s. And Gianna walks right into that. I think that was Gianna who was there. So we'll try to review some hands. We'll try to go back and see what we can do. I'm wearing my lucky PJs. I'm not really dressed for the occasion, so don't judge. Oh, I had my water. Where did my water go? Now I gotta stand up and go get water. Okay. All right, before I do that, let's just talk a little bit about what we're doing today. We are focusing on starting hands. We're focusing on our position. So here's a position. We are going to raise from this under the gun position. We're clicking on the 3 big blinds, and we're going to raise it up. This would entice people to fold because we've upped the value. Tonight we're playing no limit hold'em. So when the value goes up, the pot goes up, we start to lose EV, expectant value, right? So with a half pot bet, right, we're going to continuation bet, a half size bet for 113. This should be a fold with a flop that's this dry. We call boards or flops like this dry. Meaning there's no straights really. No one's playing a 7-8, a 4-5. There's no flush draw here. So you could have top pair, top kicker. That would be the extent of it. I'm going to look to see who's in my stream because he calls me. So he easily could watch my stream and then know where I'm at here. So let's go ahead and continuation bet 226 since we hit the ace, and the ace is a decent card. If he has an ace, then he needs to come over the top, right? just calling here is not a very valuable option for him. So it could go check, check, and I could scoop it here with an ace. Chances are I'm going to call it just because I don't think he's on a flush draw. But yeah, of course he is. So nice. It's a horrible call on my part. You really think he's on a flush draw there? No? I sure don't. This might be the shortest stream. I finally got my stream fixed, and I might be the first one knocked out of here. Crazy. Yeah, so it worked out in the end, but truthfully, it's not the nut flush draw, and it's just nothing. It's just nothing. So that really crippled me, you know? That really crippled me. So I don't even know what to do now. CPU usage. Just like that. Ace 4. These are two hands that so a 4-6 is a fold. This is not a good position, a good spot to be in. I'm not going to try to force my way into this pot. So much for my lucky pajamas. So I need to double up. That's the only thing I can really do here is double up, right? And yeah, so Joe, in your stream, you're right. The call on the flop with Jack 10 was not. It was horrible EV. It was horrible EV. But he got lucky. Yeah. You know, you can get lucky. Sometimes you gotta play, I guess. I don't know what you gotta play. I guess you gotta play your gut, right? Yeah. So we lose a hand, a pretty big hand to Evan the calf. And so now we're gonna have to really start upping our game. Getting lucky. Let's try to get lucky. This is a hand we might get lucky in. Let's see a flop. If we can hit a jack, then we're shoving. I mean, we got an open-ended straight draw. 9, 10, jack, queen. And, yeah, so you want to click the half, Matt. You want to click the half pot size. You want to bet 60 here. A 60 doesn't change the expected value, so you need to click on the half. Do not bet 30 into this, okay? Because you're giving me a free card. There you go. Good bet. Half. I'm going to stick with it, though. I think I can catch a king here or a 8. Gosh. We're out. Go ahead and bet anything. so I can fold. He had a queen, that's good. Man, we're going to be the first one out of here. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So we need 409. We need to double up. And right now the blinds are already at 1530, so we're not going to be around much longer. Yeah. I mean, to be profitable, you only want to stick around with hands. That 10 jack, man, that's spades. So, when a person bets a half, it changed the equity, but whatever. You have to be calling here with a 7. I mean, you have to have. So the best hand right now would be pocket 7s, but chances are no. So maybe 76 for a full house. Yeah. You just put out 1100 on a hand like that, and I'm just curious, like, what you really had there, right? So, I'm going it. I'm doing it. I'm out. This is either a yes or a no. What are we gonna do? Yes or no? So, there's only 509 in the pot. It is not worth a call, right? It's never a call. You know. We'll just try to scoop up a little bit. What we're all trying to do is just build up our stack sizes. So, looks like Denver's gonna lose. New Orleans, man, that's a bad game. It's 26. It's the over under. Not good there. Here's an under. All right, so 2-3. So we have 509. We're not out of it. I mean, let's look at the lobby here. Maybe someone is already. Is anybody busted besides me? Yeah, Zach. Okay, so Zach's out first, 24th. This is no limit, so it's going to go pretty quick, I can double up. I'd be sitting up here in like top. Where's Cloudy Skies? Cloudy Skies is at 1350, so if I could just move on up here, I could maybe. Who knows? I mean, 22, 23, 509. We're going to go worst to first. So pocket kings, that's a good hand. Pocket kings. And you get double your chip stack with pocket kings. It's really good. Got Nate at the table. Joe Ames. Logan, I think. Here are these 7s again. $85. Nope. just kind of marginal hands. So let's go ahead and just check, let's call here, and let's just see if this gets around. So look, we had, that last hand, we had a 5-8 suited, 3-8 suited, 8 queen suited. Ugh. We're going ahead and just call here because we haven't really seen a lot of pre-flop raises from players. So we might get to see a free flop. We might hit 2 pair, or we might hit clubs. It's close enough. So whenever you flop, it's worth a half bet. Try to get rid of 1 or 2 players, and the ace will call you here. No one called, so we get 25% of our stack up. We're chipping up. 10 deuce. Man, my stream is like, ugh. So I'm looking at my frames, I'm dropping a lot of frames. So I'm going to go ahead and just shut the stream off, I think, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to keep recording it, right? Because it's just too choppy. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shut the stream off, and I'm just going to record it, and then we'll go from there. Because my connection is just horrible. I'm looking at it right now. I'm at 55 frames per second, so I'm dropping 5 frames. Right. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and drop the stream for now. Maybe I can figure out what I need to do to optimize this. Okay, cool. All right. But I'm going to record it. So, all right. So I'm still recording. Stream done. But I'm still recording. Yep. Okay, cool. So we have 9-4. We're in a very bad position here. 9-4 is not a good hand to play, not even for 20 more. You want to be playing these hands. The ace kings and the, So you have to bet half pot. So click half and then bet. Because right now, 40 does not change the EV. If you remember the pot size, that's what we were looking at. It doesn't change that pot to where people will call you 40. But 190 probably isn't a good call. So if you're only going to bet 40, John, you don't want to call 190 unless you were going to bet the 190. But who knows, you might have woke up with an 8 and now you have 3 8s. But 40, you have to bet more than 40. Bet half pot. So you have to increase, your bet size in there. Yeah. So we're gonna raise 3 times and bet half the pot size. Okay, you got it? That's what we're doing. We're raising 3 times, and once the flop, we're going to continuation bet and bet half of the pot size. Okay? Okay. So again, we hit these clubs. I love the draw, but whenever you have 2 here and you have 2 here, so we're going to get it all in here. So we need to hit a club. We have a 33% chance that we can hit a club. So we need to get lucky. Can we please get lucky? Luck. All right. I'm the only one that has it. Clubs. Please, one time. One time. Fucking horrible. Oh, fuck. Right. We'll register for the next one. So what we're going to do is we're going to, let's see what our other table's doing here. God, that's so stupid. 23rd, because I called it off with 10 jack, and then I called it off with 10 jack. So let's see our table. So here we have Matt's calling. So here's 160, and we have a raise 160. So it's either an ace or a 3, right? It's either an ace or a 3. It's an ace. So, oh no. Oh, that's so silly. Look at this 8-3 and a 2-3. Cool. What the heck? The heck, John? Both of you guys, what the heck, right? What the heck, both of you? Ugh. What the blank is going on? I had a straight. So yeah, I'm not really getting to see the whole cards like I'd like to, but whatever. Alright. So let's just make some notes of hands that I'd like to review. This is September 15th. And this will be week 3. We had 24 players. Alright, so here's pre-flop. This is not limited any longer, guys, so we can raise it. Raise 3 times. This is no limit. So you can raise it, right? You don't have to, let everybody in. So you have to bet 400 here, and you may want to shove, John, if you're going to bet. No? Okay, we're not betting. This is aces. I don't know why you gave him 2 free cards by checking and checking, right? You have to continue here, Evan. You have to continue. So at the 24-minute mark, you have to continue with that bet. You can't check with aces. So 22-minute mark. It is the aces of Eben. And it's a double check. Double check. No more points, Chicago. That's 18, so I'll get the under and I'll get the win. That's $3,000 plus, so we'll be all right. We'll be good. All right, so double check. That was a good lesson. All right, so where are we at with who's in here? So we have 24. That's just actually 23. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 20, 21, 22. Is that Evan? Is Evan? Not Evan, but Curtis playing? Yep, Curtis is still in it. Take it. Come on, Curtis. You've got to win it for us. You've got to win it for us. So that just means there's 22 players. Now, let me just look real quick and see if anyone's sitting out that hasn't played a hand. Everyone's played there, everyone has played here, and everyone has played here. So we have everybody. So we have 22, and that means we're going to go 7, 7, and 8. 7, 7, 8. So top 7 will get 10 points. Yep. Then the next 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 will get 9 points. And the bottom 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 will get 8 points. And right now we have Zach Huber. We've got me, Servampier. We got Oki Oni. Okay. Good. Oki Oni. And, alright, so let's go back. Let's check this out here. And we're still recording. We're at the 27-minute mark of the recording. So, cool. Alright, so I'm not really looking at hands. Maybe I can observe another table by going to observe, let's say observe this table. So I have Wyatt, Cassandra. So let me try to add a table to observe game capture. Let's go tournament, table 2. And let's try to do a specific window again. Let's try table 3, table 1. And it would be something like this, same type. Table 1, what table is this? Table 1, what's table 1? Table 1. It's not letting me do it. It's not letting me do it, guys. Can't do it. But maybe what I can do is, let me delete that. Let me delete it. Yeah. And then let me go to the table I currently have and see if I can go over to table 1 that way. I can. So let's watch this hand here. This is table no, that's still me. That's still us. Let's try this again here. Boom, boom. There it is. Okay. So now we're watching table 3. So let's watch a hand. No, it doesn't look like I'm watching that hand. Looks like I'm still at this other table. Alright, so it's not going to let me... What table is this? Table 3. Table 1. Okay. Yeah, there it changed. Okay, so now it's table 1, right? No, it's not. It's still table 3. Ugh. Forget it. You guys are out of luck. Alright, so we're just going to watch this table and we'll go from here. Alright, so here we are. We're at 25.50, and Evan has been battling up and down his chip stack, and we're not going to be able to see the hand, but we're going to assume, since people are in and betting, continuation betting, half the pot, that they're having an ace or a king here. But no one's going to show, so let's go on to the next one. Okay, so we have small blind Evan, big blind Gianna, and 30-60, this is a call. Under the gun calling is not a good move, okay? So I'm going to just talk about this. 31 minutes in. 31 minutes in. See, that was not a good series. Limp. Under the gun by Geese Neck. Okay? So the way that this hand, you have all these people now because you didn't change the equity in the middle of the pot. So one of the reasons why we raise and no limit hold'em is to increase the pot size so people don't have the option really to see flops. I mean, the money wise, yeah. So 18, 19, 21. Dude, I gotta go watch this kick. He's gonna kick right now. A 50-yarder to win in Denver. 5-6. What do you have? Straight. She had a straight. Alright, I'm back. Okay, so was it the under 20? It was 21. Lost that. Chicago So Chicago 10. That's that. Okay, so here we're limping again, right? And now if you're going to raise, you have to raise it. Raise should be to at least 880. The raise should be or 210 due to all the players limping. Okay, so that's 35-minute mark. Okay, and the game we had with the Saints. Okay, so let's do some math here. 9. Okay, so in No Limit Hold'em, we should not be seeing 5 players to a flop. So we have to think about how we're going to go ahead and do this, right? Good 3-time raise. Alright, let's see where we're at here. Who is in and who is out? So we have 3 players in. Check. So the bet needs to be 200 or 250. Okay. It's a little bit light, but that might get through. 60. So 30, 60. So, okay. Okay, online. Raise. We have to raise, guys. Guys. there's an ace. Ace or a 7. And now we're down to 2 tables. Nate Yank. There are still 18. 18 left. 2 tables of 9. Tragic, he says. Big sausage. Alright, so we have a raise under the gun by John. So raising under the gun, if we're looking at our chart, has to be aces, kings, ace, king, queens. So we have to continuation bet 220 bet half pot size. Bet half pot size. Got it bet. So like once the flop hits, we are raising 3 times pre-flop and betting half pot sizes after the flop. Right? So we're not the reason so the goal is to not have 4 people see a flop. We want to get it heads up. So we want to lean more towards the aggressive side. so fold, fold, fold. We got to raise. If we're going to raise, if we're going to play, we're going to raise. If we're going to play, we're going to raise. That's fine. We call that a walk. A walk. 50. At the 50-minute mark, we had a walk. 50-minute mark equals a walk. Okay, so now we're at 5100. This will go fast. So under the gun has to raise. I mean, the likelihood of your East neck winning here is low. So 51-minute mark. Under the gun, limp. So let's get away from under the gun limping, right? But there was a good raise and a good re-raise. Bausch came over the top. So this might, maybe he wasn't. I put him on a pair, so maybe he's sitting on this pair here. He folds. No. So I wish I knew what you had there, because if you had a pair, it might be worth a call, because the likelihood of somebody having a 9 is not that good. Who else is out? Are we down to 16? Looks like we're down. Rogers is finished. 17. Rogers 219. Okay. So here's a bet of 100. There's 900 in the pot, right? Great raise, John. Great raise, John. Because you got to make it expensive to see it, right? So 53 minutes. Great raise, John. Great raise, John. Bad calls. Now, you can't bet 100, man. Guys. It's a shove. It's a shove. So someone's got a 10 here, and there's just so much money in the pot, right? You have to call. I mean, there's 5,800 in that pot. I mean, somebody could have had an ace on the river, but man. Yeah, I really didn't have anything there. He says, I really didn't have anything there. Okie dokes. How so? How am I making it harder, right? How am I making it harder? So 5 people in to see a flop, right? We need to get it down to get it down. So game theory optimal is like following a script with the hands we discussed in the positions on the chart. Advanced play is when people can start bluffing and making moves. Then it gets fun. See, so right now it's like we were playing limit, and now we're really shifting gears into no limit. And so it still has a limit feel to it. You know? So of these 5 players, somebody has an ace. Bet half pot. There are 10 cards out there, right? So Dumpysaurus, it doesn't really matter what you have because you got to call. So a raise here would represent ace jack, or a much better hand than what your other 2 opponents have. So if someone's calling, you want to put them on a draw of some sort, right? So I don't know how the 8 would make the hand, So it's kind of a risky bet because somebody could have an ace jack there and then you lose, right? Or jack king, jack queen, jack 10. So really those are hands that you're not playing from late in that position. So I'm curious about jack 9 at the 59-minute mark. At the 59-minute mark, we had 2 jack 9 splits, but I'm sort of curious as to why those hands were being played. So John's done really well with his raises. I think that's something that we need to maybe review. So this isn't all in, Cloudy Skies, because now you have a lot of money out there, right? There's 2,000 out there with 4 players in. So we try to keep the pots from being inflated, but this is pretty big. So it's, if you're betting, it's a shove. Nice, nice, nice. So I'm writing this down because you deserve it. You should win it here. So at the 1 hour mark, 101, it's a great shove by Cloudy Skies, even if you don't win, right? So it's going to be a split. So, but it's better to shove there and have somebody call you with a weak ace. Like ace 4 is not that strong of a hand, but he had the chips he could call. But it's easier to shove than it is to be calling a shove. So great shove and great call. Great shove and great call. So now we're looking at where we're at as far as big blinds. Okay, so geese neck. The blinds are 60, 120. So you only have 4 big blinds. When you get below 5 big blinds in a tournament, then you need to really start focusing on your push, shove charts, right? So when am I willing to like shove it and get it all in there? So here, you would be shoving with any ace, ace, king, but calling doesn't help you because calling right here, you have no other move besides to shove, right? Next hand. And when you call, they're going to call. And at this point, it's 900 in the pot, so everyone's going to call. You have to change the expectant value, what we talked about in class. So you have to shove. If you want to play this hand, then you would shove. Perfect. 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 Because for him to call, unless he has an ace, he needs to have a monster hand to call. And he's committing his whole chip stack to this pot, okay? And if they're just calling, they're not winning. So the likelihood of these two winning this pot are slim. So this person, you have to have an ace to call. I think you need to have 2 pair to call, or you best have a flush draw, right? So if it goes check, check, he has to shove. So watch, let's say he checks, right? Because now you guys inflated this pot up to 2,800. He has to shove because half pot's 14, so he has to shove. He has to shove if he wants to play. Because if he doesn't shove, then, and he has to shove, same situation. So that's perfect because it sort of makes it to where, what's the math? Is it worth calling? Is absolutely worth calling. But you're putting your entire chip stack in because this is your last hand if you lose. What he's telling you or representing is, I have an ace. So Matt here is saying, I have an ace. And it's unfortunate. You can't really fold. I mean, especially now. Because look how much money you're getting, right? So the ace jack, again, it's a chop. So it's ace, ace, 8, 8, queen. But you had him the whole way. And it just is luck of the draw. let's get back on it. So 1 hour 7, you have an 86 all in. At 1 hour and 7 minutes, the 86 all in hand. The way to play it would be to raise it up to half the pot size, just like Cloudy Skies did. That's perfect. And then if you do get a caller, then you want to check it down. Check, 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 because so hopefully, you catch here. Otherwise, you just gave him 1,000. And maybe one of them had a jack or a 6, and the 6 would have beat them. So it's kind of arguable how you want to play that, but I agree with how you played it. You played that correctly. You played that correctly. You. Yeah, so you want to play hands. I mean, it doesn't, I know you weren't in, because you might have had like King 4, You're not going to play those hands, right? No, it was a good. So you're trying here. So we're at the 6120 mark. Are we losing? Let's see. Gotta update my. minutes. All right. So we still got a lot of people in this tournament, surprisingly. Um, surprisingly, man.
Dad, do you know where my white shoes are?
Are they out in the garage, I think? I think Gabby wore them.
Gabby wore them?
They might be on. Look in the garage and see if they're out there. This is a very good shove here. Very good shove. It puts a person to the test, right? You put a person to the test. So that's what's awesome about No Limit Hold'em is this is a great dumpy shove. I mean, do they want to abandon their 800 that they have out there? I mean, it's gone. So you have to start doing the math. Is it worth a call? So there's 45. It's absolutely worth the call. So, and boom, top pair, top kicker, and that's how it happens. The fact that he took time is awesome because now you know, like, man, you can only be on jacks or queens or kings. Because he had an ace in the blocker, one of the aces, so. 150. Did you find the white shoes? Hello. So 56.75 is a lot of chips. You got 40 or 50 big blinds. So right now, any spade wins. And you have no fold equity here, so you have to call. It doesn't matter what you have. And this flush is going to hit, so you're going to share it, and you're going to win your money back. Yay! Exactly. But the money dictates what you do there, and it's definitely a call. Okay, so Ross Bausch, 16th. And we lost Night Owl. Come on, Curtis. I'd like to pull up the table and watch you guys play over there, Curtis, but I cannot. Looks like Cassidy's doing well. Chad's over there doing well. Wyatt, of course, is doing well over there. Pretty good. So, final table is going to be at, we lose about 5 players here in the next 5 minutes, which we will, because their chip stacks are very low. but we have 4 bigs. So you have to find a spot right now that you want to shove, and we're going to talk about this in classes. Push shove charts, right? Push shove charts. 2,000. So under, what's the under? Would have been another 1,000. That would have been good. Denver won that. They won that 19. Hey, hey, Drew, how was the movie?
Good. We bought back a whole ton of food. When will we be off?
When I'm done with this tournament here. John Ames. Jack Gate's gonna win it. Okay, we've lost a lot of players. I told you, 5 minutes. Man, we're gonna lose them. All right, G Warino. It's good for 9 points. Cloudy Skies. Mango Boy. Evans is making the final table. Curtis. Oh, I wish I was there. I got sucked in with my flesh. Whatever. Come on, Curtis. So with your chip stack, John, you can just shove, just an astronomical amount, right? Way over bet this pot because a person then has to really have something to call you. You need to start swinging that around like it's a big bag of peanuts, like just slapping people in the face with the big bag of peanuts. Yeah, so coming over the top would be what you want to be doing, right? Especially now. This person's all in, so you definitely want to lose a player. So one of you two could check, check, check. But you're getting 3 to 1 on your money, and you might have a flush here. You might have well, you'd already call if you had a flush. You might have a straight, or you could have 2 pair, or ace queen would be good. That flush is really good. Boom. So that player, Geese Neck, might be Logan, gets knocked out. Geese neck. And John Ames is in first place. Cassidy just lost a pot. Looks like she dropped down. So we have 10 players left. We lose one more, we're at a final table. Yeah, it's boring. It's boring winning money. Okay, so what do you do now? You have to bet 250. You bet there, you win. So those are small blind, big blind. So that's why you're going to see those hands in there, right? King 2. But here you have under the gun +1. You're 5-handed. So I wonder what Matthew has that's that he wants to just call with here. Because at this point, you want to be raising up. Oh, gosh. So we have a 10 paired the board. 10, 10, 9, queen. 4 doesn't change it, so someone's got a... I think someone's got a 10 here. I guess they do. Cool. Final table, just like that. Oh, Evans is disconnected. Yeah, you guys are doing great. You guys are doing great. So Mango Boy, Geese Neck, and then we had twice Femi, and then we had Chatty Shack. Cool. And then there were 8. Curtis Evans. Cool. All right, so we're getting some shoves, right? Because we're getting down. We're at 100, 200. So we have Matthew has 300 bigs or 3 bigs. What? Oh, he won the pot. I was like, what happened? How do you get? So you're looking for the short stacks here, right? So you're looking at Evan the Calf 2000, anywhere 10 big stacks, right? So we hit the final table at 125, an hour and 25. Final table. Cool. All right. So good raise, great raise, great raise, Wyatt. Great, raise it to 600 3 times. It changes the equity. Now there's only 1100, so you've got to put in 400 to an 11, and that's negative EV. So unless you're sitting on that top tier hand, aces, kings, queens, ace, king, it's not mathematically a good call. And I'm looking out here and I see 4 stacks that I could attack if I was Wyatt, right? I'm not going after John. I'm not going after Dumpy Saurus. Maybe Curtis, but I'm looking at these 10 big. So at 100, 200, 10 big blinds. So you've got 1830, 1835, 1400, and nobody raised. We have to raise, right? Why no raises pre-flop? Why no raises pre-flop? Why no raises pre-flop? Because if you're betting this flop, then you must have a part of it, right? Why no raises? And so you have to bet half pot here, which that's a good half pot size. And so you're thinking, wow, that's 3 to 1. I have to bet 600 to win 1800. So 3 to 1 is good on your money. But now 1500 is what you have to bet, half pot size, to represent. And it makes it a shove now for all these stacks. All these stacks have to shove because they have no fold equity. And so you're going to see something like King 4 or well, he might actually win it here with an ace, any good ace. Even a weak ace, a weak king. Ace queen is a great hand. So King 5 really in the small blind wouldn't even have been something I would have been playing there, right? So you wouldn't have been knocked out. You'd still be in it. But Matthew is the first one out. That King 5 hand came at the 128 mark.
Can you turn off the TV, please?
King 8. That was against the ace queen of Evans. What movie did you watch? So Cassidy, Idiot Sandwich, Curtis. Come on, Curtis. Check your bet progressions, yeah. So at this point, we're at 100, 200. So you're trying to keep the pots sort of down, right? So you're not really just, limping, because by limping, you're putting 200 extra in the pot. So 2, 4, 6, 8, and you've got 1,000 pot pre-flop. So if you're going to play John, feel free to raise it up. Because now you've got to be betting 500, right? Which for Cassidy is a shove. So don't let her see any more free cards. If she calls this, then she's pot committed. All right. That was perfect. That looked like a standard Hold'em hand. Very few Texas Hold'em hands make it to the river. So great raise. Now I'm liking it because it changes equity. It's hard to call 600, right? Unless you have a good hand, especially when you're sitting on a 1200 or 400 stack. And a continuation bet of 8 to 900 would get whoever bets 1,000 is going to win it. Doesn't even matter what you have. If you just bet 1,000, it has to be 1,000 though. See, has to be 1,300. Click half and bet. I can't believe you folded, Wyatt. All right. Because even if you didn't have anything, for 800 you have to call. That's 4 to 1 on your money. You only have to be wrong